Hey guys, I'm Sean,
And I'm Jim.
and Jim's been wanting me to check this out. Um, there is, I guess, a new Tom McDonald song that everybody is talking about right now. Tom McDonald, "Snowflakes," and I finally decided to give in today and check it out.
I'd like
so,
Sean to take a look at it because, quite frankly, I don't know what to think.
so I'm familiar with some of his older work. I've never been a huge fan of his older work. Full disclosure. So I'm going to try to look at this with an open mind and
And I'm
check it
trying
out.
to learn. Those of us who've been watching for a while, you know the spirit of this channel. This is what it's about.
Learning and understanding. All right, I'm going to go ahead and bring it in.
If you lie to the government, they'll put you in prison. But when they lie to all of us, it's called being a politician. You think taking guns away will save our kids from the killings, but you're pro-choice. Abortion kills way more children. If America's so terrible and racist...
Yeah. Exactly. That one got me on a couple of levels. How about you?
I just think he's an idiot.
In what way?
Well, I mean, a fetus is not a child. Otherwise, we'd pay child support for fetuses when we were, being taken to child support. Otherwise,
Granted.
all of those stimulus checks that went out as child credit should have went out to pregnant women.
Yeah.
We in no situation does this country recognize fetuses as children, except with regards to abortion.
Sean,
it's the only time we recognize
Sean,
fetuses as children.
you know where I stand on this. You know
I
I'm
know.
pro-choice.
I know that. So,
but
yeah,
honestly, that said,
go ahead.
I've got to give him a little bit of cred where
no, he's drawing a false equivalent.
No, hang on. No, I'm brain farting on the name. The lady who started Planned Parenthood.
I don't know her name,
but it's I've seen more than enough references that was in fact not, I don't want to say genocide, racist. That's not a word, but
I get what you're saying. It was
yeah, and I mean there
was basically a eugenics kick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, I don't think he's wrong with that reference, if that's what he had in mind.
Well, but it doesn't appear to. To me, at least to me, I don't view that as the equivalency that he's drawing. To me, he's comparing people who die via gun violence. He's comparing those lives directly to the lives of these fetuses that are aborted. A fetus is not a person. It's not a person.
And let's not get started on that one. I mean, that's a philosophical discussion that you and I can have for 2 or 3 hours at least.
Yeah, it's just, to me, like, he immediately weakens the rest of his arguments by starting his whole song out with a false equivalency. So,
okay,
we'll push on.
That's a different take than I've heard from all of the other reviewers so far.
Yeah, the minute you like lead with a false equivalency, he's already started to lose me.
It probably isn't safe to encourage immigration. Just saying, all the it probably isn't safe.
Hold on, let's go back a little bit.
Yeah.
America's so terrible and racist. It probably isn't safe to encourage immigration. Just saying, all the contradictions are.
That's a point.
You know who hates America?
I don't think so. I'm just gonna move on though.
Okay.
The most Americans, trigger warnings used to be on TV for seizures, and now they're everywhere to protect millennials' feelings. He, she, his, him, hers, them, they. Screw a pronoun, because everyone's a retard these days. Hear him preaching at the protest.
I had to research who that was. Because I'm ignorant.
Yeah, he's well, that in and of itself was transphobic. Like he's making fun of the idea of having to respect people's pronouns. It's literally what he was just doing.
But then he has Blair White on there.
I don't care. The music speaks for itself. He was just making fun of the idea of respecting people's pronouns. He's continuing to lose me.
That's that hatred's the problem, but hating straight men, white folks, and Christians is common. Coca-Cola telling people they should.
Remember when I was telling you he's a woe is me rapper?
Yeah. And I remembered that.
Men, white folks, and Christians is common. That's that hatred's the problem, but hating straight men, white folks, and Christians is common. Coca-Cola.
There it was. There's the woe is me rapping that I'm so accustomed to from him.
Telling people they should be less white. They preach intolerance, but if you disagree, they fight. There's a race war here. Elections based on fear. Black lives only matter once every 4 years. Soldiers died for this country.
Okay.
Every one of us.
Tell me he's wrong on that one.
I mean, to politicians, yeah. But, I mean, politicians only ever speak on actual issues every 4 years. So that's another false equivalence that he's drawing. He's saying that the only time politicians yell Black Lives Matter is when it's election time. But you know what? It's the only fucking time they talk about any other issue that's not, specific as fuck either. So
fair.
I mean, to me, that's just ridiculous. He's just trying to get people on his side,
but he's
as
not
opposed to making a legitimate point.
He's not lying when he said that. I mean, we all think that.
It's not a lie. It's not a lie, but he's phrasing it in a way as if they care about all these other issues the rest of the year either, which they don't. That's what I'm getting at, is that he's singling out the idea or the movement of Black Lives Matter as the only thing that only gets revisited every 4 years.
Okay, we'll come back.
Not true.
We'll come back to this when it's over.
To the bums and forget about the veterans. Black folks and white folks divided by the news, but we are all the same. We are red, white, and blue. Ashamed to be American? Okay, that's cool. Because honestly, we are all ashamed of you too.
Y'all are so fake. Oh no, the forecast said that there'd be snowflakes. Whoa. You can make us see it your way. No way. Gasoline and propane. More flames. Oh no.
Okay. Hang on. Okay.
That was just not a good hook. It was just not a good hook. Like the singing was bad. Like sonically it was bad. Like it just sounded bad. And it wasn't written very cleverly either. And I'm not just dumping on the dude. I'm just saying, like, I'm not trying to just be all negative, right? But I mean, that was a poorly written hook that was delivered even worse than it was written.
The thing that got me on that one, you can make us see it your way, no way, and that is in fact a lot of what I hear from my friends. Well, no matter what their political views.
Yeah.
They're absolutely closed to any opposing view. I mean, in this case, he's clearly talking about conservatives being closed to a liberal view, but it's both ways. It's both ways.
No. Tom Macdonald is a conservative.
Yeah, I know that. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he's talking about liberals being closed off to a conservative view.
Well, it's the other way too. I mean, that's both ways.
Well, yeah, no, that's what it is, both ways. But he's only referencing that liberals are closed off to conservative views.
Okay, whereas I read that just the opposite, he's saying that conservatives are not going to accept liberal views.
No, he's saying that liberals close their eyes and ears when conservatives are speaking, essentially.
Okay.
That's what he's actually saying.
Okay, people who are listening, put it down in the comments. What way did you see it? And by the way, hit that like and subscribe while you're at it. This is one of the few times that Sean and I are really getting into it.
From a liquor store. Empowering women used to be different than this before. The role models got OnlyFans or dance on a stripper pole. Screw it, I ain't tripping. I don't mean.
He has another one, his earlier one, I think Fake Woke, where he talks about Beyonce being the role model for 12-year-olds.
So like,
And where he's controversial. So I think that's a reference back to that.
so I have an issue with this though. I actually have a pretty big issue with this. Like, he's talking as if women who have OnlyFans are less than and shouldn't be looked up to by others. I mean, like, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that like I want 12-year-olds watching someone's OnlyFans, but he's phrasing it in a way as if someone who, just because they have an OnlyFans, they shouldn't be respected.
Well, you and I have got a mutual friend who has an OnlyFans.
I have several friends who have OnlyFanses, and I don't respect any of them any less for it. As a matter of fact, I think it's ridiculous to respect someone less because they're comfortable enough with their body to show it off, and other people are excited enough to look at it to spend money to see it.
And
I don't see the problem.
I don't either. I don't have a problem with people doing what they want to do to earn a living. I really don't.
Right. So it is what it is. But we'll move on from here. I have an issue though that he's essentially like going after the idea of a woman having an OnlyFans can't be someone that's also a role model. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that women should, that little girls should be aspiring to be, Instagram models and having an OnlyFans. But what I am saying is that don't talk as if someone is less than just because they do. And he sort of is here. So.
Mean to be mean, but if our children are the future, then our future is bleak. They take an Adderall to focus, hit McDonald's to eat. They're addicted to phones and they take Xanax to sleep. They blurred the lines dividing communism and democracy. In 2021, we paint the patriots as Nazis. The men playing women's sports get...
Okay.
Yeah, you and I are probably going to have a couple of disagreements here.
Okay,
but...
in 2021, we paint the patriots as Nazis. Which patriots exactly? Which ones? I want to know. Which
okay.
Ones? The ones down at the Capitol building waving a...
Okay, hold on, Sean. Okay, Sean.
I just want to know which ones.
Okay. No, I'm going to take it personal. How about me?
Yeah, what about you?
Would you call me a patriot?
Yeah. You're a vet. You care love about your country.
But
you're involved in politics.
But do you know people who would call me a Nazi?
No. I actually don't know anyone that would call you a Nazi.
I do.
I do not.
I
do not. I shouldn't say I don't know anyone that would call you. I don't associate with anyone that would call you a Nazi.
I have a number of, I'll say, acquaintances.
Yeah.
In my circle who look down on me and routinely put me in that camp.
So, I have never heard you say anything that would indicate that you were a bigot, ever. So, we can move on from that discussion because
I'm just going to say some of what he's saying.
So
I understand because
here's the thing,
I've been guilty by association.
Here's the thing, though, Jim. Him saying we're painting patriots as Nazis, he doesn't mean you. He's not talking about you. He's talking about folks like the ones that stormed the Capitol.
Okay.
That was not an act of patriotism.
Okay.
I think we can both agree on that.
Yes. And now we have a point that you and I can discuss, well, maybe on air sometime, but certainly later. People are being painted with a broad brush by him and by others. We're all being painted with a very broad brush.
And the thing is that
and people like me are getting very upset by being painted with that broad brush.
But let's focus back on the music. He is complaining about being painted with a broad brush while simultaneously painting with a broad brush. That's the problem.
Yeah.
He is not being any different. He's acting exactly
That's a
like
good
his
point.
enemies.
That's a good point.
So, I mean, I just have a hard time taking anything that he's saying seriously because he's doing the same thing. One, and two, like I said, he's leading with false equivalencies. He's just being absurd, which he's pandering to his base, which is
Nothing new for anybody.
which is nothing new, right? But the idea that this is some kind of new, fresh thing, no, he's just being your garden variety conservative Trump supporter, which he is, and rapping about it. So people who are, people who are supporters of that, group, are really into his music.
Okay.
It's not anything new.
I got a question for you for once this is over.
Okay.
Trophies for winning. Like, great, let's celebrate a man for beating some women. If you're black, your life matters. You're supposed to embrace it. If you're rich or you're smart, then you're probably Asian. If you're gay, then you're brave. All of that I'm okay with. But if you're white, the stereotype is you are a racist. Blaming capitalism like that's the reason things are...
I'm just going to pause here for the stupidity. We can play now.
tough while you tweet from an iPhone and sip on a Starbucks. You're supporting what you stand against. You don't think you are, but a Percocet addict don't donate money to...
Now, come on. You got to say that was a point.
We're all afraid
That was a good line.
to speak the truth. And the more afraid we get, the more we hate the ones who do. You're ashamed to be American? Okay, that's cool. Because honestly, we are all ashamed of you too.
Y'all are so fake. Oh,
He's not even an American. He's Canadian.
Right. I know that's... I'm not sure about that myself.
Moving on.
no. The forecast said that there'd be snowflakes. Whoa. You can make us see it your way. No way. Gasoline and propane. More flames. Oh no. No more snowflakes.
We can all get along, but there's no stopping. Ay, everybody's wrong, it's a real problem. Ay, they don't want to hear it, but they still talking. Ay, soon enough, we running out of options. Ay, this ain't gonna end till it's in the coffee. Ay, we ain't gonna be friends till we try to squash it. Ay, I don't know how we can make amends or we drop it. Snowflakes melt when it's hot, kid.
Y'all are so fake. Oh no. The forecast said that there'd be
Yeah.
snowflakes. Whoa. You can make us see it your way. No way. Gasoline.
So, being near the end of this song, and we'll play the last bit of it, but I see why the internet's going nuts over it. I also see why the reviewers that I watch typically would not like this song, whereas maybe some of the ones that you've watched do.
Yeah, no, I'm just picking them all at random. I mean, seriously, like I said earlier, every time I page down on YouTube, I see one, sometimes two reviews on this. And so far, I haven't seen anybody hating on him. They're all saying he's spitting truth. That's the
Okay.
line. I hear that in almost every review. He's spitting truth.
I mean, maybe he's spitting his truth. But, like, did you understand the points that I pointed out on this?
Yes, I do. And it has given me something to think about.
Yeah, and this song is very similar to the rest of his catalog as far as his content. And
Oh
his
yeah,
subject.
this one is probably
This is
the
a very
most
good.
the most direct so far.
Yeah, this is a very good summary of what most of his work sounds
Yeah,
like.
Fake Woke was the most recent one that got a hell of a lot of reviews, and this one it takes it up a notch.
Yeah.
And propane. More flames. Oh no. No more snowflakes.
Okay.
Now that we've gone over his points, and the subject matter, and gotten more political on this channel than we ever really wanted to be.
But to be honest, given what we're trying to do, I think we have to go there once in a while. I mean,
for sure,
he is legit at this point. I don't think we can deny that.
So here's the thing. Tom Macdonald has a small to medium-sized fan base that's extremely loud. It's not the same as having a big fan base and being legitimate. That's the thing, is he has. I'm just being honest. Like, you know, and when I say small, I don't mean he has 2,000 followers. I mean, he may have 100,000 or 200,000. Right?
He's got a few more than that.
But the point that I'm making is that, relatively speaking, that's actually a pretty small following when you look at other legitimate rappers.
When he gets 2 million views in less than like 6 hours,
he gets 2 million views because he's inflammatory. He's using the same style of gathering views as Fox News would.
Okay, please.
I'm just being honest. I'm not even I'm not even trying to politicize it. I'm saying that he's catering so hard to a specific fan base, and he's inflammatory.
Okay, let's take a different track on it.
Okay.
Another one of his.
I'm just saying that I view his. Just to clarify, what I'm saying is I'm more so contesting.
Well, I want to go there.
Assertion that he's legitimate.
Well, I want to go to regards to you. I mean, another recent one they dropped that I watched was Dear Slim, and it was produced by Eminem. Yet he clearly dropped a diss on Eminem with his fake woke.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Dear Slim was dropped after that.
So here's the thing with Eminem. You know, Eminem.
Yeah, help me understand. Obviously, I'm new to this
sure
arena.
So that's actually a good barometer for understanding that Tom Macdonald's not legitimate, believe it or not. So
then why would Eminem help produce his track for him?
Let me finish. If a legitimate rapper disses Eminem cooks them. He cooks them because he sees them as maybe not so much of an equal, but at least as a plausible threat. The fact that he would just flat out ignore a diss kind of speaks to the fact that he doesn't take him very seriously as an artist.
But why would he actually produce a track for him?
I have no idea. And maybe behind the scenes, Tom Macdonald goes, "Oh, I wasn't talking about you, bro. I didn't mean you. You weren't who I was talking about, bro." Maybe he just kind of pulled one of those. I don't know. I haven't heard Dear Slim. I will at some point. But what I'm saying is that if it was a diss at Eminem, and we can verify that it was an Eminem diss, the fact that Eminem hasn't responded to it in an aggressive way is actually an indictment of Tom Macdonald's legitimacy as a rapper.
Okay. From what I can tell, and people, please keep in mind, I'm ignorant in many ways about all of this, as Sean will attest.
But do you get what I'm saying, Jim?
Yeah, but
okay.
Macdonald dropped fake woke.
Yep.
And he took a diss at Eminem in it.
And you're sure about that?
Yes.
Did he say his name?
Yes.
He said his name.
Right. And that's also what I gather from several reviews.
Okay.
Several other reactions. And then later, I don't know the time frame right off the top, but too much later, then he came out with Dear Slim that was produced by Eminem, where he basically idolizes him. Now, where I was going to go earlier, I mean, part of the reason I wanted to go here is because I am confused. I mean, Macdonald, yeah, he's very different from everything that you've shown me so far. And I'm hearing him, I'm saying, basically, what the fuck? I think everybody would be pissed. But so far, I'm seeing a ton of different reactions to him. And none of them are hating on him. And I would expect to see that.
I mean, I get that.
I mean, yours by far has been the most negative that I've heard.
Understandable. And I'm sure after this I'll be able to find a couple of reactions that sound more like mine than you're expecting.
Yeah, because
and we can do that off camera, but
yeah, I'm very confused. To be honest, I'm very confused.
Yeah, no, understandable. But the important thing is I think we understand the points of his song, and I hope that I helped you understand what he was saying a little bit better. Now,
yeah,
I'm going to say
at the same time.
Okay.
I hope you understand why I am confused and why.
Yeah.
Quite frankly, yeah, I can understand some of the things he's saying.
Yeah, no, I get it. Now, we spent all this time talking about his points. I'm going to give you a couple things on his on how it's on sonically.
Let's go to something safe.
Yeah, so like Tom Macdonald should never sing again.
It wasn't that bad.
No, it was. It was. And he's rich. Like, you know, he does have a big enough following that he's pretty wealthy.
Yeah, in one of his tracks, he's bragging about his 7-figure bank account.
Yeah, he could certainly afford to, you know, get a singer to sing his hook. You know, that hook was like one of the worst I've heard in a very long time. He should not sing his hooks anymore. That was bad. The delivery and rhyme scheme were very basic and not interesting. I knew pretty much what he was going to say before he said it because there was so little variance in his flow that I knew what word was coming that he was going to use to rhyme with it because he kept it so basic. And that's actually disappointing from him because I've heard him do more complicated rhyme patterns. I've heard him be a little bit more, have a little bit more finesse with his wordplay, and there just wasn't any of that in this song. I mean, it was very basic, bare bones, boring.
Whereas I've got to say, at least I didn't have to struggle to understand what he was saying.
Yeah, and that's understandable too. But there was very little musicianship in this song. Is what I'm getting at. There wasn't a lot to grab onto sonically at all from his rhyme schemes, flow patterns, you know, and wordplay. It was, I mean, remedial. It was remedial at best. And I'm not just trying to be a dick here, right? Like, I'm not. I know that I sound like a dick. I know I sound like a dick. I know I do. But you guys have to understand, I'm judging him on a legitimate rapper scale, right? That's how I'm judging him off of.
And you're certainly more qualified than I am to do that.
I'm judging this as if he was attempting to make a commercially viable song, which this isn't. But that isn't the point. But that's not the point, right? Because I love underground shit, right? I do. Like I love underground music. But this was not good at anything. Like he didn't do anything well. As a matter of fact, even the beat like lulled me to sleep a little bit.
Actually, to be honest,
was actually bad.
Actually, to be honest,
you didn't even notice it, did you?
No, it was his words that were
sleepy.
No,
he sounded sleepy.
No, his words were what caught my attention. I mean, it probably shouldn't, but the entire time, from the first time I heard it, and every time I've heard it since, I'm saying, What the fuck? I mean, how is he doing this and getting away with it? Because I know it ought to be generating a shitload of hate. It's upsetting.
So part of it is that you have to understand that a lot of people, because he's been doing this for a long time, have realized that Tom Macdonald is a troll. Like, he's a troll. He's a Canadian that raps as if he's this alt-right conservative.
Yeah,
American.
that was the thing about that line about we're red, white, and blue.
Yeah. So
excuse me, Tom. You're
So
a Canuck.
So like, he's a troll. And most like legitimate, hip hop heads have recognized him for what he is, which is a troll and not a legitimate rapper. And so they're refusing to give him attention, which is what I was initially doing.
Then why is he getting so much, I don't want to say love, but certainly so much acceptance from so many reviewers? And I mean, I haven't even bothered watching the white reactions.
So a lot of reasons. Number one, Tom Macdonald doesn't copyright strike. So this review will go unchallenged unless he actually watches it, in which case it will definitely get copyright striked. So there's that, right? There's that point to it. But then after that,
any news is good, or any publicity is good publicity.
Well, there's that, and there's that they know that it's a video that they can post and it won't get taken down. They'll be able to monetize it. It won't get, copyright stricken. So that's going to already put a lot of people in a good mood and like let them be very positive about the song, even though it's not a good song. And I know that's stupid, but it's just true.
Okay. Sean, I'm going to ask the question. It's the 800-pound gorilla in the room.
Okay.
So far, every black reaction I've watched to it has been at worst neutral, but almost all of them have been positive. Why?
I don't know. It could be the YouTube algorithm. Meaning that the ones that you see specifically, because you're on the spectrum, I would say more conservative, you get fed more of those people that have a more conservative viewpoint, because that stuff is in the analytics, that stuff is in the algorithm. You will typically be fed things that are more like your own belief systems. So that's the only thing I can assume, is that you've been algorithmed out of the people who would disagree.
I would love to know how they're, what the hell they put me into. I really would, because I watch everything.
But then also, Jim, like I said, a lot of the really legitimate hip hop heads are ignoring this dude. So that's gonna further dilute the sample size of what kinds of reviews you get.
Well, the thing that got me was that Josh Prey, he didn't do a reaction video, but he did a video talking about this. I mean, it was really pretty funny.
Are you assuming? Hold on, are you assuming that Josh Prey is a liberal? Because I'm not.
No. When I say Josh Prey, is that this is so far outside his normal realm of what he talks about.
But Josh Prey has Prey in his name.
He's automatically a Southern Baptist.
I mean, I would say it's more likely than not. If you hear him talk, he has the Southern drawl.
Well, he's in Florida. I mean, that's not really the South, but he's in Florida.
Yeah. When you're in
Florida, sorry, Florida is not the South.
That's fine, dude, but I'm willing to bet that Josh Prey is and I don't know Josh Prey, so don't quote me, but I would be willing to bet that Josh Prey is a right-leaning church goer type of cat. I'd be willing to bet anything on that.
Okay, well, the point I make is that it was so far outside his normal area of topics to actually talk about a song, especially Macdonald. It was unreal. I mean, it was funny. He made it look like he was hiding in his basement. He's afraid to go out.
Well,
I got to show it to you.
This video is running long.
Yeah.
We're at 35 minutes now.
Okay, way too long.
So
folks,
guys,
you stayed with us. Thank you.
Yeah, seriously, thank you. Hit the like button if you enjoyed our breakdown or my breakdown and review. Like I said, I know that I'm going to get some dislikes on this purely because I was so negative about Tom Macdonald, but I simply just don't think he's that good of a rapper.
Hey,
I don't like his subject matter.
But
we're here to discuss that stuff.
Yes,
right?
and please drop it in the comments. Tell us what you want, whether you want us to do shit like this.
Yeah, let's fight down in the comments, guys. Let's go.
Yeah, tell us in the comments what you want to hear.
Fight me, you pussies. No. I'm just playing, guys. I love all of you. But I will fight you in the comments if you like Tom Macdonald, because this was a mess.
And like
I will argue with you down in the comments. Like I'm watching.
Hey, I'm just confused. I'm just an old white cracker. I don't know what the hell to think.
All right, guys. Well, that's going to sum it up for us. Like I said, if you like this, hit the like button. Argue with me in the comments. I'll be there. I'm here for it. And hit the share button if you want other people to see our reactions. And don't forget to hit the bell to make sure you don't miss any of our future reactions. And let us know what you guys want to see us react. We do take requests, and we do take those seriously. So we have some backlog stuff that we'll get to, guys. But if you've requested it, it's on the list. So we'll get
By the way, folks, this is the first time I've been using a 1080p camera on HDMI. If you think I need to shave before I do one of these again, say that in the comments too. I'll probably tell you to fuck off, but okay.
Yeah, roast Jim's old ass in the comments. Anyways, guys, we are out.
Later.